So it's actually really interesting because I think this quarter we really have seen how high inflation and rising interest rates have caused some companies to make a lot of redundancies and put hiring on hold. And I think as we head into the summer break, we're going to see the market slow down even more, but we would expect that. But I do think that there are signs that the market will pick up from September. I think you and I have both got roles which are currently on hold, where clients have said after the summer they'll pick things up again. And some clients have also mentioned that they'll release new roles come September. That said, for those companies looking to avoid the costs associated with adding to their permanent headcount, I think we'll see an increase in temporary hiring. What have you noticed, Elliot?
Yeah, great points. And I think you kind of touch on it with inflation. I think as we tackle kind of an ever-changing economic environment, there's demands for certain sets of skills. I think a top one is really strong kind of data analytics and skills in that area. Always been important, but definitely becoming more prevalent now, especially when it comes to valuations and for potential acquisitions and divestitures. Lending partners are asking their PE firms, what's stopping you from moving forward here? And I think it is that economic uncertainty. But on top of that, it's also good knowledge and skills and technology. As machine learning and AI become more important in the world, any kind of finance candidate that has knowledge of that and how to implement that within a finance department is only going to become more valuable, especially as everybody is now kind of playing more of a business partnering role, providing insight and kind of assisting with decision making. But there really isn't that many candidates that are very good and have all of these skill sets. So I'm seeing a bit of a shortage, kind of especially within those areas. But what about yourself? Are you seeing any sort of shortage of candidates?
I think you're right, there is a shortage. And I think, unfortunately, for some companies, flexible working is going to impact that shortage as well. So, there are lots of clients, as we know, who are requesting more time in the office. And we've seen that requesting 4 days or full time in the office will have a negative impact on the talent pool, as candidates really want to maintain a good work-life balance. And that means that companies with less flexible working models need to sell themselves to candidates even more. So in some cases, they're going to offer higher salaries, perhaps a superior benefits package, just to mitigate against rising travel costs and the increased time in the office. Elliot, what else are you noticing?
Yeah, I think another key area is ESG. As firms become more concerned about, it's the environmental and social impacts that their investing is having on society, they are going to want to recruit people that have kind of experience and knowledge within this area. One kind of key thing, I read on private equity news this morning that transition funds who help, companies that are very carbon intensive move towards kind of net zero. This is only going to grow in popularity, over the next few years. And so anybody that has skills in those areas and, is able to manage the financial implications of that are only going to become, more valuable going forward.
So what's really important in order to get these candidates that are in high demand, hiring managers have got to be mindful of their interviewing and onboarding processes. We've basically seen that long interviewing processes and long onboarding times will again impact the talent pool, as some candidates just won't want to risk turning down other offers to pursue a lengthy interview process, or they won't want to wait weeks before starting a role, particularly if they're available immediately.
I think one thing candidates can do, is kind of brush up on their knowledge of kind of different technologies, their knowledge of data analysis and ESG. As you said, for hiring managers is just to be quick, because candidates like that, they don't hang around for long.
No,
And
no.
on the flexibility side, if people do want to maintain flexible working, if you have those skills and you are in high demand, then it's more likely that firms are going to be more flexible towards you, just because you're such a scarcity, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but it's certainly going to be an interesting quarter four, I think.